Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video review. This time we have the Marvel Legends from the Age of Apocalypse series Sugar Man Build-A-Figure Wave Morph. So overall, this is a figure that I wasn't looking too forward to. You know, as I say in just about all the videos I make about this wave, didn't plan to get anybody in this wave, ended up seeing them all in stores, really liking the look of them, and kind of excited to find a whole wave at once, so I purchased them. I was overall really happy with the wave. That is all except for this one. To be honest, I think that this is the weak link in the wave. I think that Morph leaves a lot to be desired. So let's get into why that is the case for me and, you know, kind of my reasons for disappointment. Overall, face sculpt is one of the biggest things that I'm disappointed about with this figure. He has a really interesting look, interesting, you know, design in the comics, and I think that they just butchered it here. And it's a design that should be very easily done too. But the side of the box, and first of all, I love the box art design that they've gone with for this series, where the top is Apocalypse's head, and then really cool, like, animated style artwork for the characters. But look at the expression in that face sculpt. That shows a lot about the character, and he looks extremely visually interesting like that. This face sculpt, I think, is really plain. You know, the actual details in the face, the actual line work, and the sculpture in the face is really plain, you know, but it makes sense. Obviously, he has very light features, but then the expression is also very plain as well. He's got his eyes outlined in black, and then he has the most dull little smirk I've ever seen, and then he has one eyebrow. It's just, he looks stupid. It doesn't look great. He's a comedic type of character too, so giving him some expression is a must, and I think that they butchered. I think it's horrible. I think this face sculpt is a real pity, to be honest, and it's something that would be so easily fixed. You know, give him an interesting sculpt, or at least go like full smirk, you know, and really, like, the eyes, they do look like they're slightly different, where one looks a little bit more closed than the other, but it's so slight too, it doesn't really work, and it doesn't support the eyebrow that they've got going. They're trying to do a bit of a Deadpool thing without doing a Deadpool thing, and it just looks crappy because of it. So overall, face sculpt, I think, is really bad. The rest of the body sculpt is your average Marvel Legends body sculpt. The gloves and the boots are, you know, also reused. The gloves seem to point up a little bit with a couple extra flares, so that points me to the fact that it might be a new glove sculpt. I know that we do have a lot of other Marvel Legends figures that have gloves like this, but it does look a little unique when it comes to the back. Boots, on the other hand, though, are definitely just reused. They don't look unique at all. The sculpt, or the paint on him, is just blue with some black highlights in certain places, and then the bright yellow. I think that his color schemes also just don't look great. Now, this is more just my criticism of the character design, but I think that the dark purple that, you know, has a bit of a reddish in it, up against the dark blue with bright yellow highlights, just looks really bad. That's just a bad combination of colors. They don't go together at all, and they look just a little ugh. Maybe if the yellow was mixed in a little bit better and wasn't just on like the tips of his limbs, then it would look a little bit better than it does now. Cape-wise is a rubber cape. It feels a little more rubber than your average Marvel Legends cape too. I don't know why, but the way that it flares up doesn't look great. The collar piece is never sitting right on him. Like, I feel like that's kind of where it should be, and I wish that it would stay there, it would, you know, plug in somewhere, but it doesn't. It just kind of flips up, and then it just is like floating there. It makes the pieces here that are flamed up just look ridiculous as well. I wish that they sat on the shoulders a little bit too. It's like a cape that doesn't fit. The actual paint, there's no washing or shading. I would have liked to see that within the cape too, especially on the back side, just to give it a little bit more going on. Articulation is your standard Marvel Legends. Ball jointed head with a hinge. He has a ball hinge shoulder with a butterfly joint, which is nice. That's something that's a little more unique. It's a bit of a newer body, although it is definitely reused. Swivel at the bicep, double hinge elbows, swivel hinge at the wrist. He's got an ab crunch, which works very well. He's got a swivel at the waist, ball jointed hips, swivel thighs, double hinge knees, swivel at the boot cut, and then hinge pivoting ankles. So overall, your standard articulation for Marvel Legends. Again, I think this is a poor figure. I think that it doesn't express his character very well. I think that the face sculpt is horrible, and the cape annoys me too. And then just personally, when it comes to the character design, I'm not a big fan of the colors. That's not a huge issue though. But had he had a head sculpt that was better and a cape that was better designed too, this could have been a nice figure. But overall, with both of those not being the case, definitely the weakest in the wave in my opinion. A figure that I would absolutely not recommend unless you're a huge Morph fan or you need a complete Sugar Man. But there you go, that's my video review of the Marvel Legends Age of Apocalypse series Sugar Man Build-A-Figure Wave Marvel's Morph. Let me know what you guys think of them, and thanks so much for watching.